Here's the most astounding aspect to what we have seen. The Mets have been on the road for 13 straight games by virtue of the end of season schedule, by virtue of the rainouts, by virtue of having to go back to Atlanta to play the doubleheader, and then going to Philadelphia. And the series is tied 1-1 now as it goes back to Citi Field. Philadelphia's bullpen imploded in game one. The Mets rallied back to win. The Mets bullpen and Edwin Diaz is becoming very, very tenuous as the closer. That implodes in game two. So back we go to Citi Field. They'll be crazy there too. That series has now become a best of three because it's tied 1-1. New York Yankees, Kansas City. We're waiting for Judge and Soto to go off. You know, Kansas City is a team that staggered in the month of September. They had two separate 7-game losing streaks, John, and they are still in postseason play, but we're waiting for Judge and Soto to go off. You got Cleveland, Detroit. I told you that the Tigers are going to wake up and suddenly realize where they were and did not have a good first game against the Guardians, my Indians. Cleveland jumped them for 5 in the first. Detroit never recovered. You know, the most astounding thing to me, I mean, the Guardians have had a really good statistical season in terms of wins. The Guardians have a collective team batting average of .238. And I swear to you, can anybody name anybody in the Cleveland lineup aside from Jose Ramirez and the ex-Padre Josh Naylor? You probably can't. This is going to be an interesting series to see if Detroit can emotionally come back in this Monday game as they play game two now, just like Kansas City plays game two against the Yankees. Your perceptions of all things Mets Phillies and what else is going on across the street in the American League.
Well, I mean, that Mets Phillies game certainly proved that the Phillies have got the bashers. And boy, Castellanos, man, he had a day. And he seemed like almost like Ohtani, sort of flipping his hair around like he's some prima donna. But you got to give it up. The Phillies did really well. It was interesting bringing in Diaz in that high leverage situation. It didn't work out for the Mets, but I'm just still flabbergasted that the Mets are doing what they're doing. And now they get to go, just like the Padres, they get to go home, split 1-1. This series could be over in the next 2 games. Yankees, the Yankees and Royals, you know, I think about the old 1978 through 1980 era when they battled each other, and that was a great run. But Kansas City doesn't have it going now. The other series, Cleveland and Detroit, but didn't Jack Flaherty play for the Tigers and then the Dodgers traded for him? I wonder if the Tigers would like to have Flaherty back.
Well, right now the Tigers have got the ace. He's going in game two. Tarik Skubal, who's maybe the hottest pitcher in the American League and hottest pitcher in baseball this side of Chris Sale. So that's going to be a fascinating second game matchup. So we got baseball all this week to talk about, though some of these series could be over by Wednesday night. We go